It's been 13 years since the release of GTA 5, and now in March of 2026, we're finally just 8 months away from the most anticipated game in history. But getting to this point is honestly a story in itself. GTA 6, a game originally meant to span all of the Americas, revolutionary technology that sounds like science fiction, a global pandemic, leadership departures, 2 major delays, developers being harassed, employees being fired, and a controversy that reached the floor of the UK Parliament. In this video, I'm diving into everything that has happened with GTA 6 from the very beginning to right now. This is everything that has happened during the development of the most highly anticipated game of all time. So without further delay, let's actually start with what we know about the game so far. So let's start with the basics. What has Rockstar officially confirmed? GTA 6 is taking us back to Vice City. Now, this isn't the neon-soaked 80s version that we remember from 2002 with GTA Vice City. This is actually set in the fictional state of Leonida, obviously based off of Florida. The debut trailer showed us stunning beaches, swampy Everglades, vibrant city streets, and even the Keys. All of these settings suggest that we're going to be getting a diverse map that's going to make GTA 5's Los Santos look like a playground in comparison. With GTA 6, this is the first time in any mainline GTA game that we're getting a female protagonist. So this of course is Lucia, who we see in a prison uniform in the GTA 6 trailer, and she's paired with a male character named Jason. They form somewhat of a Bonnie and Clyde inspired criminal duo, and their relationship seems to be a central point to the story, with the trailer showing them robbing stores together and evading the police. As for when we can actually officially play GTA 6, Rockstar has confirmed a fall 2025 release window. Take-Two's financial statements have repeatedly backed this up, with the company feeling really good about hitting their financial targets despite past internal delays. Now, the game is confirmed for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S at launch, with the PC version likely coming later, probably in 2026, following Rockstar's usual staggered release pattern. Apologies do go out to last-gen console owners, as GTA 6 is strictly a current-gen release. Rockstar is going all in on pushing the hardware limits of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S. The development journey of GTA 6 has been very interesting. Rockstar began preliminary work as early as 2014. This was after GTA 5's official release, but full production didn't ramp up on GTA 6 until around 2018 once Red Dead Redemption 2 was completed. The project was codenamed Project Americas during early development, hinting at the original more ambitious scope of the game. According to a Bloomberg report by Jason Schreier, the initial plans for GTA 6 were far more expansive, potentially including portions of both North and South America. However, these plans were eventually scaled back to focus on Vice City and its surrounding regions. This was partly to avoid the excessive crunch culture that had plagued previous Rockstar projects. Instead, the plan appears to be starting with a moderately sized game and expanding on it over time with future updates. One of the most key moments in GTA 6 development journey came in September of 2022 when a hacker leaked about 90 videos of early development footage online. This unprecedented breach gave us our first look at the game's setting, characters, and gameplay systems. Rockstar later confirmed that the leaks were authentic, but they had assured fans that development would continue as planned. Now, the hacker was later revealed to be a teenager and was arrested in the UK, with the FBI even getting involved with the case. By 2023, we saw Rockstar allocating more resources to GTA 6, including pulling back on Red Dead Online updates in order to focus on the new Grand Theft Auto. In October 2023, Rockstar teased the first official trailer for GTA 6, which finally dropped in December 2023, a day earlier than planned due to another leak. The very first trailer for GTA 6 broke all records, amassing over 100 million views in just 24 hours. Throughout 2024, Rockstar remained very quiet about GTA 6, only occasionally reaffirming through Take-Two's financial calls that the game is on track for fall 2025. Reports did suggest that early in 2024, Rockstar asked employees to return to the office for the final production stages in order to maintain security and productivity, so work from home was cancelled, again because of those big leaks that we had in 2022. Now, Rockstar's methodical, secretive approach to development continues, with the CEO of Take-Two describing the game as extraordinary and worth waiting for. GTA 6's world map is shaping up to be Rockstar's most ambitious yet. It's set in the fictional state of Leonida, and the game centers around a modernized Vice City, a Miami-inspired metropolis that's just one part of a much larger game world. From what we've seen in the trailer and leaks, Leonida is incredibly diverse, with Vice City itself appearing to have very distinctive neighborhoods like North Vice City, Rock Ridge, Little Haiti, Vice Beach, Washington Beach, and South Beach. Beyond the city limits, we'll have Port Gellhorn, which is possibly inspired by Fort Lauderdale. There's also smaller towns like Yorktown, Ambrosia, and Red Hill, plus the natural areas like the Everglades-inspired Grass Rivers, where players are able to navigate through swamplands on airboats. One of the most exciting confirmations is the in-game area called the Keys. This is a string of islands that will likely provide some amazing driving routes and scenic vistas. And let's not forget about the underwater exploration, and this is specifically listed as a location in the leaked documents, suggesting that we will be getting a significant portion of underwater content. The map size of GTA 6 is hotly debated amongst fans, but the community's efforts to map the game world based upon coordinates found in the leaks suggest that it's roughly 1.5 to 2 times the size of GTA 5's map. The sheer diversity is what's most impressive about GTA 6, from densely packed urban areas to sparse swamplands, beaches, suburbs, and even rural communities. One calculation done by a fan based on the leaked coordinates suggests that Vice City's playable area alone could be twice as large as Los Santos. Interestingly, there are some hints that the GTA 6 map may evolve over time, similar to Fortnite's approach, as Bloomberg's report suggested that the game would start with a moderately sized map and expand with future updates. Insider Tom Henderson claimed that areas could be added post-launch, potentially even including South America locations that were allegedly part of the original Project America's concept. This would keep the game feeling fresh for years after release, and it would align with Rockstar's treatment of GTA Online as a growing platform. GTA 6 is bringing a ton of gameplay innovations. Let's break down the most exciting changes revealed through leaks and official sources. So the wanted system is getting a complete overhaul. Rather than instantly spawning cops when you commit a crime, there's a dispatch timer that gives you a window to escape before officers arrive. Police can develop a description of you and your vehicle at 3 levels: no description, partial description, and full description. Even after losing your wanted level, cops might recognize you or your car if you haven't changed your appearance or vehicle. CCTV cameras can now spot you during crimes, with a detection meter that fills up if you stay in view for too long. These stealth mechanics have also been greatly expanded, as footage has shown Lucia crawling, crouching in cover, and carrying bodies. These features are more reminiscent of Red Dead Redemption 2 than previous Grand Theft Auto games. You can also apparently hold NPCs at gunpoint, zip tie them, and threaten them during robberies. Additionally, the weapon system within the game is becoming more realistic, with limitations of what you can carry. Gone are the days of pulling a rocket launcher out of your pocket. Instead, you're going to have a weapon wheel, which is divided into sections for weapons, equipment, and gear, with there being limitations on how many weapons you can have on your person. Duffel bags and backpacks will let you store additional items, and you might be able to keep extra weapons in your vehicle's trunk. Vehicle interactions are also becoming more nuanced, as cars will have more realistic damage models with parts falling off during crashes, and you can now enter the passenger seat instead of always taking the driver's position. There has even been a mention of adjustable car components like seats, mirrors, and steering wheels. Cars will also feature functional GPS systems in first-person view, potentially reducing reliance on the minimap. Fascinatingly, building interiors are a major focus with GTA 6, with reports suggesting that up to 70% of the buildings might be enterable. The leaks identified 157 different interiors just in the early build of the game, including clubs, pawn shops, strip clubs, supermarkets, bars, restaurants, apartments, and laundromats. Take-Two has even patented technology for AI-generated interiors, potentially allowing more buildings to have unique layouts without requiring hand design for each room. Other notable features include money laundering through businesses, a weight and muscle mass system similar to previous Rockstar games like GTA San Andreas, smoking and food consumption which affects health, hair and facial growth has also been added, and a fencing system for selling stolen goods. We've also learned that there will be a revised inventory system for healing items like trauma kits and painkillers. Earlier in the video, we spoke about the heart of GTA 6, which are the protagonists Lucia and Jason, whose relationship dynamic could bring a fresh perspective to the GTA series. It's evident that they are inspired by the Bonnie and Clyde duo, the infamous criminal couple from the 1930s, though their story will undoubtedly have Rockstar's modern satirical spin added to it. From what we have seen in the trailers and leaks, Lucia appears to be the more confident, cocky character who's in it for the thrill. She's the series' first female-led protagonist since GTA 1's expansion packs. She stands at 5'3" according to leaked details, and she's first seen in a prison uniform, suggesting that she either starts the game in prison or she is recently released from custody. Some hints have even suggested that she might be a skilled hacker, as leaked inventory items assigned to her include USB drives, tracker jammers, and an immobilizer bypass tool. Now on the other end, we have Jason, who is 6'1", and he appears to be more reserved, and he seems to have been dragged into the criminal lifestyle more for the sake of Lucia rather than him having a passion for it. Leaked footage suggests that he has a special ability similar to Red Dead Redemption 2's Eagle Eye system, allowing him to see valuable items through walls, which is perfect for planning heists. It seems like the relationship between these two characters has been deeply integrated into the gameplay, as the leak showed a command system where players can direct their partner during heists, asking them to surrender, follow, or take specific actions. Now, there also appears to be a shared inventory system where certain items are available to both characters. This dynamic duo approach builds on the character switching from GTA 5, but with a more intimate connection between the protagonists. Leaked code from GTA 6 has also suggested different events may trigger depending on which character you're playing as, and some missions might force specific character switches at certain points, creating a more structured narrative than GTA 5's three-protagonist approach. The criminal partnership also extends to the criminal partnership between Lucia and Jason also extends to the themes of trust and loyalty, which were emphasized in the trailer with the tagline "Survive together, thrive together." This could manifest in gameplay through cooperative heists and escapes where the characters need to rely on each other's unique skills in order to win. GTA 6 represents a massive technological leap forward, built exclusively for current-gen hardware. I want to now examine some of the technical innovations that will make this game truly stand out. The visuals for the game are absolutely stunning based on what we've seen so far. The trailer showcased photorealistic lighting and reflections, especially noticeable in wet streets reflecting neon signs, volumetric clouds which are similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, but they have been improved here. It creates a very dynamic skyscape, while advanced weather effects include storms and flooding, and the character models show incredible detail in facial expressions and clothing. And then you have the environments, which are densely packed with flora, fauna, and realistic urban clutter. Rockstar's Euphoria physics engine has been significantly upgraded. In the leaked footage that we saw, characters were reacting more realistically to bullet impacts, adjusting their movements based on exactly where they've been hit. There's even animations inbuilt into the game where characters are able to cover their face with their hands or their weapons in order to prevent headshots. This is a small but very immersive detail that they've added. The AI systems have been vastly improved over previous Rockstar games, with NPCs now traveling in groups rather than as lone individuals. They're able to engage in conversations with each other, and they perform contextual activities that make sense for their environment. During robberies, NPCs with yellow icons above their heads appear to be potential witnesses who might call the police if not controlled. Police AI is smarter too, taking cover while reloading and strategically surrounding buildings during standoffs rather than just rushing in. The world of GTA 6 feels more alive thanks to countless small details, with raccoons digging through trash bins, mirrors in vehicles actually reflecting the environment, light passing through ear cartilage, characters adjusting their kneeling position if uncomfortable, and bullet particles particles floating on water. Sand on beaches shows footprints, with NPCs also performing complex interactions like taking selfies or applying sunscreen on each other. Sound design has received a major upgrade as well, with gunshots now echoing realistically based on the environment, with indoor gunshots sounding appropriately deafening and confined, and vehicle doors make satisfying thud sounds, and there are also environmental audio changes based on location and weather conditions. Loading times have been minimized through strategic use of SSDs, with there being patents that have been filed by Take-Two for seamless lobby switching technology, which could allow players to move between different areas of the map or even different online sessions without visible loading screens. These technological achievements aren't just eye candy, they contribute to a more immersive, believable world that responds to player actions in meaningful ways. I mean, considering GTA 6 is being built strictly for current gen hardware, unlike GTA 5 which was originally developed for the PS3 and 360, Rockstar can now fully leverage the power of modern consoles without any compromise. So this is what GTA 6 is shaping up to be, the most ambitious open world game ever attempted. But the question that everyone's been asking is, why on earth has it taken 13 years to get here? What's really been going on at Rockstar? GTA 6 has officially become the longest developing title within the entire history of Rockstar games. After years of speculation, Rockstar has finally confirmed what a lot of fans were afraid of, and it's that GTA 6 is not going to be launching until the 26th of May 2026. This of course is a staggering 13-year gap since the launch of GTA 5 back in 2013. Now this timeline of development shatters all previous records for the franchise, especially when compared to the rapid-fire releases of the early 2000s. I mean, think back to when GTA 3 launched in 2001, and then we had Vice City in 2002, and of course San Andreas, which launched in 2004. Those days are clearly behind us, it seems. Now, what on earth has caused this extended development cycle? The simple answer is that modern AAA game development has fundamentally changed, but the complexities behind the development of GTA 6 does involve much more than just technological advancements. From the changes in the ambitious scope of the game, to leadership departures, to a global pandemic and fundamental shifts in studio culture, there have been multiple factors that have contributed to create this perfect storm of delays. What does all this waiting mean for GTA 6? Is this a sign of troubled development, or is this the price that we need to pay for a perfect game? So let's explain why the next entry in gaming's most iconic open world franchise is taking so incredibly long to materialize. To kick things off, we need to cover how GTA 6 had began its life with a very ambitious codename which had hinted at its original scale. GTA 6 was originally referred to in studio as Project Americas. According to credible leaks and industry insiders, Rockstar's early vision for the game was breathtakingly expansive. Perhaps it was too vast even for a studio that is known for pushing beyond its limits. The early concept for Project Americas reportedly featured 4 playable protagonists, which have now been cut down to 2, who of course are Jason and Lucia. And early in development, the game was going to be operating across 3 distinctive cities. Players would navigate between a reimagined Vice City, a new location based on Rio de Janeiro, and missions within Liberty City, essentially spanning North and South America. Hence why the game was titled Project Americas. Some reports even suggested that the game would unfold across multiple decades, potentially including environments from the 70s and 80s alongside a modern era. This very ambitious project had proved to be unstable, and by 2020, Rockstar had reportedly made the difficult decision to scale back Project Americas significantly. So instead of building the entire Americas, they focused on delivering an extraordinary version of Vice City and its surrounding Florida-inspired state of Leonida. Now, this decision wasn't about reducing creative reach, but it was about redirecting the efforts of the development team, creating one exceptional location rather than several adequate ones. It is quite ironic that reducing the scope of the project had actually extended the development time of GTA 6. The discarding of Project Americas had resulted in years of work on abandoned locations and concepts which had to be repurposed or gotten rid of entirely. Systems designed for Project Americas multiple eras had needed to be reworked too, and the story, originally spanning continents and decades, had required to be reimagined for a more focused narrative. This pattern of design, test, reconsider, and rebuild had consumed many precious years of development. While the final product will likely be more cohesive for these changes, the project essentially underwent multiple partial restarts as its vision had started to evolve gradually. Now, what remains clear from the two trailers that we've seen is that Vice City itself has received the full benefit of all of this concentrated focus, as it appears to be more vibrant, detailed, and alive than any other previous GTA location. The reported new strategy for GTA 6 is to build an exceptional foundation at launch, which can be expanded upon through updates, potentially adding new cities or regions over time, rather than delaying the game indefinitely to include everything all at once. This modular approach represents a fundamental shift in how Rockstar creates their worlds, but the transition to this model has itself contributed significantly to the development time of GTA 6. The most highly anticipated open world game isn't just aiming to be bigger than its predecessors, it's actually attempting a quantum leap in technical sophistication. Every frame of the released footage so far showcases Rockstar's determination to create not just the best GTA ever, but potentially the most technically impressive open world in gaming history. The environmental systems alone represent a massive undertaking, as credible reports and trailer breakdowns have suggested that GTA 6 will feature fully dynamic weather with unprecedented simulation depth. This will include hurricanes, thunderstorms, and floods that don't just look spectacular, but meaningfully impact the gameplay. In the Florida-inspired setting, these weather events appear to transform the environment in real time with physics-based interactions between wind, water, and objects. Everything from cloth physics on clothing to water dynamics shows a level of simulation which surpasses even Red Dead Redemption 2's already impressive systems. The world density appears to have increased exponentially as Vice City's streets teem with uniquely behaving NPCs, each seemingly engaged in their own activities rather than following basic patrol paths. Some reports have suggested that NPCs will have complicated daily routines, creating a living city rather than the static backdrop of previous games. All of this technical innovation requires not just implementation time, but extensive research and development. Rockstar's Rage engine has undergone a major evolution in order to support all of these new features. All of these new rendering techniques, physics systems, and AI frameworks don't just materialize overnight, they require years of engineering, testing, and refinement. Additionally, the decision to develop exclusively for current-gen consoles has allowed Rockstar to push technical boundaries without any compromise. But then you have the issue of optimizing the game for these different platforms like the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. This ensures that the game will maintain performance while delivering some unprecedented fidelity. This in itself is a very time-consuming process. When Take-Two's CEO states that they are creating the best thing anyone has ever seen in entertainment, he's revealing both their vision and the reason for the lengthy timeline of the development. Technical perfection at this scale simply cannot be rushed. Very few figures have helped to shape the history of Rockstar games and its identity like Dan Houser. As the lead writer behind every major GTA and Red Dead game, his departure from the studio in February of 2020 had marked a major creative shift which inevitably impacted GTA 6's development trajectory. Houser's distinctive writing style defined GTA's satirical voice, its cultural commentary, and its narrative approach for over 2 decades. His brother Sam Houser remains as Rockstar's president. This leadership change occurred at a critical juncture, just as GTA 6 was presumably moving from pre-production into full development. So story elements, character arcs, and narrative frameworks established early in development likely had required reassessment under new creative direction. The dialogue, mission flow, and character development that defines GTA's unique storytelling had needed refinement without its principal creator. The timing of this major exit couldn't have been more challenging, forcing the team to re-evaluate fundamental aspects of the project while simultaneously advancing its technical development. While we can't say for certain how much Houser's departure from Rockstar had delayed GTA 6 development, it is still safe to assume that it contributed to extending the development cycle of the latest entry in the GTA series. Like virtually every game in development during 2020 to 2022, GTA 6 faced unprecedented disruption from the pandemic. When lockdowns had started, Rockstar, like all studios, was forced to rapidly transition hundreds of developers to remote work. For a project of GTA 6's scope and complexity, this shift created enormous logistical challenges. Open world game development requires intensive collaboration between numerous numerous specialized teams, like environmental artists coordinating with technical artists, animators working alongside programmers, writers collaborating with mission designers, for example. The informal communication which happens naturally in a studio environment where there's quick feedback sessions, spontaneous problem-solving conversations, over-the-shoulder reviews, all of these have become formalized and less efficient in a remote setup. Certain aspects of development were particularly impacted. Motion capture sessions, which are essential for GTA's cinematic storytelling, were delayed or reconfigured with social distancing measures. Voice recording sessions had faced similar complications and delays. And then there was the issue of playtesting, which is crucial for identifying errors or issues in an open world where systems interact in complicated ways, had ended up becoming even more challenging to coordinate. These issues persisted well beyond the initial lockdowns, as Rockstar maintained remote and hybrid work models throughout 2022 and 2023. This likely extended typical development cycles for many game systems. By early 2024, upper management had decided that the final push to complete GTA 6 required in-person collaboration. In a controversial move, Rockstar had demanded a return to office in April of 2024 for all developers. Their reasoning was based upon both productivity and security concerns, as development had entered its most critical final phase. Despite these efforts to accelerate the development of GTA 6, recently Rockstar had announced that the game was going to be delayed to 2026. Perhaps the most major but yet underappreciated factor which had extended GTA 6 development is Rockstar's fundamental transformation of its work culture. The studio, which was once notorious for its extreme crunch periods, has embraced a more sustainable approach to game development. This is a change that inevitably impacts production timelines. Following major criticism of the working conditions during Red Dead 2's development, where some employees reported 100-hour work weeks, Rockstar has apparently made substantial changes, as reports from inside the company describe a kinder and more progressive environment that prioritizes work-life balance and employee well-being over meeting aggressive deadlines at any cost. The studio has reportedly also become more attentive to how its content might be perceived, reconsidering the series' approach to humor and satire. The goal seems to be maintaining GTA's provocative edge while moving away from outdated stereotypes that had characterized some earlier entries in the series. While previous games might have been completed faster through months of mandatory overtime, GTA 6 is being built with more reasonable working hours. From a purely business perspective, Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar's parent company, has had little financial incentive to rush GTA 6 to market. Unlike most publishers who rely on regular new releases to maintain revenue, Take-Two has enjoyed the unprecedented long-tail success of GTA 5 and GTA Online. The numbers are absolutely staggering, as GTA 5 has sold over 190 million copies, and it continues to sell millions annually even a decade after release. Meanwhile, GTA Online generates hundreds of millions in recurring revenue through microtransactions. This continuous cash flow has given Take-Two the luxury of patience that they can afford to give Rockstar all the time that they need, because their existing product continues to perform so exceptionally well. Thankfully, because of this financial cushion, it removes the pressure to meet arbitrary deadlines that often leads to compromised games. When the Take-Two CEO Zelnick states that delaying GTA 6 is a worthy investment, he's making a calculated business decision here. The potential revenue from a fully realized, polished game outweighs the cost of extended development and the opportunity cost of a slightly delayed release. And the revised release date of GTA 6 reflects a very strategic marketing choice. By May 2026, the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S install base will be significantly larger than today, providing GTA 6 with a wider potential audience at launch. The game will also be arriving at a point where these consoles have matured technically, allowing developers to more fully exploit their capabilities than would have been possible earlier in their console generation. Zelnick describes the delay as being less than 6 months and that it was necessary for polish. He is framing this in a positive light, ensuring fans that GTA 6 will be launching at the highest quality, thus ensuring that it will release with a maximum impact. So this delay is more of a positive thing than a significant setback. The company's financial projections have long anticipated a massive revenue spike when GTA 6 arrives. Now that spike is positioned in fiscal year 2026 instead of late fiscal 2025. The rumored $1 to $2 billion development and the marketing budget of GTA 6 potentially makes it the most expensive entertainment product ever created. With this level of investment, Take-Two is incentivized to launch under ideal conditions, even if that means waiting a bit longer. The continued success of GTA Online also provides Take-Two the financial flexibility to make this choice, prioritizing long-term returns over short-term timelines. The slow rollout of GTA 6 isn't occurring in isolation. It reflects a broader trend across the entire AAA game industry. Development timelines have been steadily expanding for all major studios, with 5 to 7 year cycles becoming the norm rather than the exception. The numbers do paint a picture here, as PlayStation 5 games take approximately 20% longer to develop than their PlayStation 4 predecessors, and for flagship AAA titles, that increase jumps to around 40%. This increase in development time stems from the exponentially increasing complexity of modern game development, creating 4K assets, implementing advanced physics and AI systems, recording thousands of hours of voice acting, and building ever larger worlds all requires significantly more time than previous console generations. Other major franchises have demonstrated similar patterns, with Elder Scrolls 6 having kept fans waiting for over a decade since Skyrim. The gap between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom was 6 years, despite using the same engine and world structure. And then you have Red Dead Redemption 2, which had taken 8 years to develop, and Cyberpunk 2077's troubled launch after nearly a decade of development, which serves as a cautionary tale about rushing complicated projects. It took 4 years to develop GTA 4, 5 years for GTA 5, and now it's taken 13 years so far for GTA 6. Each iteration has grown exponentially in complexity, detail, and scope, with corresponding increases in development time. Technical advancements over years have created a very paradoxical effect. While tools have improved, expectations have outpaced those improvements. Modern gamers expect not just larger worlds, but more interactive ones, with sophisticated NPC behaviors, physics interactions, and seamless transitions. Now, meeting all of these expectations requires more sophisticated engineering, more content creation, and more extensive testing. Also, the increased cost of AAA game development has made publishers more risk-averse, preferring to extend development rather than release an unfinished project. High-profile launch disasters have demonstrated that releasing prematurely can cause lasting damage to valuable franchises. So hopefully, after diving into all of these different factors, it's helped you to have a clearer picture as to why GTA 6 has taken so long to release. This isn't a story of delays or mismanagement. Some people are questioning whether if the wait for GTA 6 will be worth it, and Rockstar's track record suggests cause for optimism here. With both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 facing their own delays and extended development periods, but yet both games had delivered experiences which had defined their respective console generations. Rockstar Games has consistently demonstrated that when given enough time, they are able to create landmark titles that push the medium of gaming forward. While many fans have been dissecting every frame of the latest GTA 6 trailer, searching for clues about what the blueprints for Rockstar's vision are, they have actually been hiding in plain sight all along. Between 2018 to 2024, Take-Two Interactive has very quietly been filing several patents which reveal technologies which are so advanced that they appear to be impossible to implement within the current generation of console hardware. The new technologies that Rockstar has filed patents for have been refined via years of development, and they are about to reshape what we think is possible within open world gaming. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down all of the technical patent documents which reveal Rockstar isn't just making another Grand Theft Auto, they are actually creating a complete revolution in interactive entertainment which will leave every other developer scrambling to keep up. So the backbone of any believable open world game lies in the inhabitants or the NPCs. Rockstar's patent number US 1168485 represents a massive leap from the puppet show NPCs that we've gotten used to in GTA 5 and the previous entries. They're not just improving the NPCs' pathfindings or implementing smoother walking animations, they're actually trying to create digital citizens which have the ability to really think. The traditional approach to NPC behavior relies on rigid decision trees. If player does X, then NPC responds with Y. This unfortunately ends up being unrealistic and very predictable, and the end result is ultimately a lifeless NPC. gameplay. Rockstar appears to have overhauled the NPC system entirely, as they've implemented what they call real-time contextual decision-making. NPCs are now able to process multiple environmental variables at the same time. These changes will affect the traffic density in the game, as well as weather conditions, the time of day. NPCs will even have their very own simulated memories of previous encounters. So imagine this, you cause chaos near a school, traditional NPCs would trigger their panic animation and they would run in a predetermined direction. But this new NPC system will mean that a parent picking up their child might remember you seen committing crimes before, they will recognize your face and immediately call the police while positioning themselves proactively near their kid. A nearby shopkeeper might lock their doors and dim the lights, having learned from previous incidents in the neighborhood. Honestly, these systems sound so realistic, and the implications for the police responses are staggering. Police units will communicate through realistic radio chatter. They will share intel about your location, vehicle, and your known associates. They'll also set up coordinated roadblocks at logical checkpoints rather than magically spawning behind you like in past Grand Theft Auto games. Police helicopter units will also relay information to ground teams, creating pursuit scenarios which feel genuinely tactical rather than being scripted. This newfound NPC system also extends to civilian drivers, who will now exhibit authentic road rage against you. They'll take shortcuts during traffic jams, or they'll pull over when emergency vehicles are approaching them. Each NPC essentially becomes a mini AI agent with their own goals, fears, and decision-making processes. This is going to transform GTA's Vice City from a movie set which is pre-scripted into an actual living ecosystem. Next, we have US Patent 11620.781, and this tackles perhaps the most challenging aspect of character realism, and this is making digital bodies that move like actual human beings. Rockstar's solution is a modular animation system which constructs movements on the fly rather than relying on playing back pre-recorded sequences which have been motion captured. Traditional animation relies on massive libraries of motion capture data, and if you want a character to limp, you need someone to motion cap a limp. Want a different body type to limp, you need multiple motion caption sessions for each variant. Rockstar's new approach to animation uses what they refer to as data-driven animation blending. This essentially teaches the game engine to understand the physics of human movement and to adapt it contextually. The GTA 6 system will analyze a character's current state across multiple parameters. These are physical condition, emotional state, environmental factors, and carried objects. A character shot in the leg won't just play a generic limp animation. The system calculates the wound's location, severity, and the character's pain tolerance in order to generate a unique movement pattern. Running uphill while carrying a heavy bag, while the engine factors in weight distribution too, as well as the terrain angle and stamina in order to create appropriate movement animations. There is also the retargeting technology, which will allow a single motion capture session to now be applied to characters of vastly different body types, from bodybuilders to elderly individuals to children, with the GTA 6 system automatically adjusting joint angles, stride length, and muscle tension in order to match realistic biomechanics. Now, this technology has some interesting implications for GTA Online. This opens up some unprecedented levels of customization with your characters. Player height and build won't just be cosmetic changes, they'll fundamentally alter how your character moves throughout the world of GTA Online. A tall, athletic character might vault obstacles effortlessly, while a shorter, stockier build might need to climb or find alternative routes. Combat animations will also feature a ton of variety, as they'll be based on reach and muscle mass of the character, making every player's experience unique, at least in terms of the animations. One of GTA 5's most persistent limitations was its beautiful but very hollow world. There were so many amazing buildings, but they were just outward facades as they had inaccessible interiors, and it would often break immersion for players whenever their curiosity would meet an invisible wall that they couldn't walk through. Rockstar's procedural generation patent promises to shatter these barriers entirely. This is patent number 10987-587. This system works by analyzing contextual descriptors for each building. This means its architectural style, the neighborhood demographics, building purpose, as well as the narrative requirements of that building. And then it will generate appropriate interiors in real time. A rundown motel in a crime-heavy district will feature water-stained wallpaper, broken furniture, and evidence of illicit activities. On the other hand, a high-end apartment in a wealthy area will feature expensive furnishings as well as personal belongings, which suggests that it belongs to affluent individuals. Rockstar isn't implementing random generation here like the caves of Minecraft. Each space tells a story through environmental storytelling. Office buildings will have functional layouts with cubicles, meeting rooms, and appropriate technology. Restaurants will also have kitchens, storage areas, and seating arrangements that will make operational sense. Each seemingly mundane location like laundromats or convenience stores will have logical layouts, appropriate inventory, as well as signs that they are being visited daily by NPCs. With potentially 70% of buildings becoming explorable in GTA 6, players will gain access to countless hiding spots during pursuits, as well as opportunities for activities like burglary or urban exploration. The world of GTA 6 transforms from a series of corridors connecting mission markers into a genuine living space where every door might lead to an insane adventure. For a procedurally generated system to work like this, resource management remains critical. The system generates interiors only when needed, and they can vary detail levels based upon importance, ensuring performance remains stable while expanding playable space exponentially. Then we have US patent 111-92032. This addresses one of GTA Online's most persistent frustrations from players. These are the jarring transitions between single-player exploration and multiplayer gameplay. Rockstar's session management technology promises to eliminate loading screens for people who want to play online. This will create a fluid multiplayer experience that feels organic rather than mechanical. So no longer will it feel like you're abandoning one playstyle and entering an entirely different one. This new multiplayer system for GTA 6 operates through dynamic session merging, monitoring player locations and activities in order to intelligently connect compatible game instances. So driving through the map of GTA 6, you might encounter other players naturally, not because you selected a lobby, but because the system determined your paths would create interesting interactions. Friends can drop into your world seamlessly, appearing at realistic entry points like airports or train stations rather than materializing from thin air. The new multiplayer session system provides the technological foundation for roleplay servers that could support hundreds of simultaneous players without the clunky server transfers that currently break immersion. These multiplayer sessions will mean that we'll have player bonafide environments, ongoing faction wars, or community-built economies which evolve even when you're offline. Following this, we have US patent 11534-688, and this is Rockstar's solution to an impossible challenge, which is rendering unprecedented visual detail without melting gaming hardware. Their smart rendering system prioritizes computational resources based upon player attention, scene complexity, and narrative importance. You can see how this technology has been implemented within the recent trailers of GTA 6, where every visible surface tells a story. Watch Jason's climb sequence. Sweat doesn't just appear as a texture overlay, as sweat droplets are formed which roll along skin contours before dripping onto surfaces below. Also, his tricep muscles flex and release based upon actual arm movement, creating subtle anatomical details previously reserved for high-end CGI. The game engine of GTA 6 will constantly analyze your viewing angle, distance from objects, and focus point in order to allocate rendering resources intelligently. The beer bottle in your immediate vicinity receives full physics simulation, liquid sloshes realistically, condensation forms on the glass surface, and light will properly refract through the liquid. Meanwhile, a lot of the the background elements in GTA 6 will use simplified but very convincing approximations for how they are displayed. Also, environmental density will reach staggering levels without destroying performance. Trash scattered across sidewalks isn't just decorative, as each piece exists as a physics object which will respond to wind, foot traffic, and vehicle displacement. Puddles reflect surrounding architecture with proper distortion, and lighting adapts dynamically as weather conditions change throughout the day. Rockstar wants to create believable physical spaces where your brain stops questioning the reality of what you're experiencing. When environmental details behave exactly as they would in real life, the line between game and reality blurs in ways that we have never seen before. Rockstar's advanced physics patterns introduce environmental responsiveness which extends far beyond visual spectacle. Rockstar's new fluid simulation systems handle everything from character perspiration to dynamic weather effects, as it creates a world that reacts to the actions of the player and natural processes in the environment. Surface deformation technology means footprints will persist in the sand and mud, tire tracks scar dirt roads, and bullet impacts leave lasting marks on appropriate materials. These aren't just mere cosmetic details. All of these changes will affect gameplay. Tracking enemies becomes possible through visual evidence, while your own movements will leave trails that observant NPCs may be able to follow. Weather systems integrate with both NPC behavior and environmental physics, as rain doesn't just change visibility, it affects vehicle handling, causing NPCs to seek shelter or drive more cautiously, and it creates realistic water accumulation in low-lying areas. Extreme weather events like storms may also flood certain districts temporarily, opening new navigation routes while closing others. Lightning responds dynamically to environmental changes and player actions. Shooting out streetlights creates pockets of darkness that affect both NPC behavior and stealth mechanics. Vehicle headlights will also cast realistic shadows and illuminate particles in fog or rain. Indoor lighting adapts to the time of day, while Rockstar's competitors are focusing on resolution increases or improvements in frame rate. Rockstar has fundamentally rebuilt the foundational systems of open world gaming for GTA 6. The industry will spend the next decade attempting to reverse engineer and implement similar technologies in their own games. Revolutionary NPCs, groundbreaking animation systems, 70% of buildings explorable. On paper, GTA 6 sounds like it's worth every year of the 13-year wait, but as 2025 progressed, something started to change. The excitement was still there, but so was something darker. Fan anticipation was becoming something else entirely. In some totally unhinged news, a TikToker GTA 6 fan has gone to the studios of Rockstar in Edinburgh and has started harassing Rockstar developers. All of us are eagerly waiting the next update for GTA 6, especially since the release date for the game was pushed back from the end of this year to May of 2026. It's also been 5 months since Rockstar released the last trailer for GTA 6, and at the same time they had announced that the game's been delayed until next May. Some fans are getting really impatient with the new game. People have been coming up with wild GTA 6 theories just based upon images that Rockstar posts on their social media, and they're even getting concerned that we may have yet another delay to GTA 6. As of making this video, the game is supposed to come out on the 26th of May 2026. It's not a big shock that Rockstar has delayed this game, as they delay most of their games, especially when it comes closer to the release date. There are fears that we may get yet another delay, as most GTA games have historically launched in the month of September or October. This has made fans speculate that May 26 may not be the actual release date of GTA 6, and it could be pushed back to September 2026. Back when the game was delayed, Rockstar's official statement said GTA 6 is now set to release on the 26th of May 2026. They add, "We are sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and GTA 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality that you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon." So this has now led to an American GTA fan who has traveled all the way to the offices of of Rockstar North in Edinburgh in order to seek out answers directly from Rockstar developers. Now, they had gone about this in the worst way possible. As you can see in this video, they confront Rockstar developers on the streets as they leave the offices.
When's the next trailer? I want to know. You don't know. We are live here from Edinburgh, Scotland. I flew all the way over here because I'm sick and tired of waiting for the answers. Right now, we are here, right here, live from Rockstar North. I told you guys I wasn't playing around. When's the delay happening? Is there another delay? What about the trailer? Is there another trailer? You can't tell me? You can't tell me nothing.
The caption for the TikTok reads, interviewing GTA 6 developers at Rockstar North, and this video is being posted by user Back on Boulevard. In the videos that the TikToker has posted, nobody really answers his questions, but the poster has claimed that the next GTA 6 trailer, along with another delay announcement, is going to drop later this month on the 28th of October. We have no idea what his sources are, if he has managed to get a Rockstar dev to divulge some information to him. There's been a lot of negative reactions to this video, with this post stating, came across this disgusting video on TikTok of some strange individuals camping outside of Rockstar North to ask developers about a GTA 6 delay and a new trailer. If you're waiting outside of somebody's workplace to harass employees over a video game, then you need to give your head a wobble. Others who are reposting the video have stated a TikToker flew all the way to Rockstar's offices to harass and ask developers about a new GTA 6 trailer and whether if the game is going to be delayed again. What's crazier than the actions of this TikToker is some of the comments. Like this one here, I'm not saying it's okay, but I get it. And the comments under the actual TikTok are unhinged. Like this one that states, I mean they did it to themselves, just release the game already. And then there is these comments stating, I've been thinking to kidnap one of them so I can torture them for the answers and go live on any platform so all of you can see. The response is, doing God's work, please bro. Then the guy who actually went to Edinburgh who posted that video states, we do what we can, we won't see the big fake YouTubers doing this. And yeah, I agree, all of these people should be on a watch list. Yeah, the posts on this guy's TikTok are encouraging him, stating, dude, keep this up, don't let up, keep pressing. Yeah, this comment's pretty funny. We got unemployed on employed crime before GTA 6 releases. I mean, I knew that the hype for GTA 6 was really high, but I didn't know that it was this insane. It's like this commenter states, some people really need to engage in other hobbies instead of sitting around waiting for GTA 6. This is a grown-ass adult who's gone to the Rockstar North studios and started harassing developers. I mean, yeah, what did he expect for the developers to just say, yeah, come on in, let's play GTA 6 early? There's a mixture of unhinged comments and sensible comments, like this crazy individual stating, I mean, we want the game, tell them to hurry up. Do these people not know what it takes to create a AAA title?
When's the next trailer? I want to know. You don't know. We are live here from Edinburgh, Scotland. I flew all the way over here because I'm sick and tired of waiting for the answers. Right now,
sick and tired of waiting for the answers? I mean, these guys have been working on this game for the last 5 years.
We are here, right here, live from Rockstar North. I told you guys I wasn't playing around. When's the delay happening? Is there another delay? What about the trailer? Is there another trailer? You can't tell me? You can't tell me nothing.
That guy at the end looked genuinely terrified for his life. Yeah, this TikTok video started to get a bit of attention. The live streamed incident where staff appeared to be uncomfortable, where they've provided no answers, has drawn a lot of backlash from the community. GTA 6 has had 2 trailers released. The first was in December of 2023 and the second in May of this year. This is honestly embarrassing behavior. The Rockstar developers don't owe us anything. Flying all the way from America to Edinburgh just to ask some developers about a video game is absolutely unhinged. In terms of the latest updates on GTA 6, we've had the Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser state that the world has had enough GTA from me, as GTA 6 will be a great game, but it's not going to be a title that is from him. Yeah, so Dan Houser has confirmed that he has no development in GTA 6's story or its characters. Some fans are concerned about the direction of GTA 6 and whether if the game will take bold narrative decisions like prior entries, afraid of really capturing the raw narrative of previous entries, which may make GTA 6 lose some of that charm. And in some other news, Sony engineers are apparently assisting Rockstar in fine-tuning GTA 6 for the PS5 Pro. Reports indicate that it's already running at 60 FPS with multiple performance modes, and GTA PS5 bundles can be expected. And this information appears to come from a PlayStation engineer who has provided accurate and verified info several times in the past. If GTA 6 isn't going to be delayed, then we are 237 days until release. There appear to be two options for playing the game, the first at 30 FPS in a cinematic mode or a 60 FPS performance mode. Developers being confronted on the street, unhinged comments online, the pressure was gradually building, and then in November of 2025 everything exploded. Unfortunately, our worst fears have been realized. GTA 6 has been delayed once again. So let's dive into the official statement from Rockstar. Initially, the game was set to release in 2025, but it was then pushed back to the 26th of May 2026, and now the game has been delayed yet again. So Rockstar's latest message begins with, "Hi everyone, GTA 6 will now release on Thursday the 19th of November 2026. They say we are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve. We want to thank you again for your patience and support. While the wait is a little longer, we are incredibly excited for players to experience the sprawling state of Leonida and a return to modern day Vice City. Sincerely, Rockstar Games." This delay is coming straight after Rockstar had laid off up to 30 to 40 employees. And there was supposedly even a disgruntled ex-Rockstar employee on the GTA forums spilling the sauce on what is actually going on behind the scenes. You can see here an anonymous Rockstar employee has made a post on the GTA forums with the ongoing situation at Rockstar Games. So the employee's post states, "Hey everyone, Rockstar employee of many years here. Understandably, I want to remain anonymous due to retaliation from the company, but I may be willing to verify I'm an employee if somebody DMs them." So apparently this was a union employee, and there's been a lot of discussion about those 30 or so Rockstar employees who were fired from the company. So this ex-employee saying there's a lot of disinformation and lies that are really concerning, particularly concerning how so many folk are willing to believe the company's excuses for why these employees were fired. So this Rockstar employee states, "Last week my colleagues who were in the studio were each individually messaged by HR for a short friendly meeting under the friendly guise of, 'Hey, are you free for a quick chat?' Upon attending this meeting, they were handed an envelope with a short letter stating that their employment had been terminated for gross misconduct regarding posts made in a Discord server. They failed to provide any evidence when asked, nor was any stated in the letter, and they did not divulge any other information or reasoning, as they refused the employee's right to union representation in the disciplinary meeting, and this is against UK employment law. And then they were embarrassingly frog-marched out of the studio, with the meeting lasting less than 5 minutes. For colleagues who were not in the studio that day, they received a phone call from HR that lasted less than 2 minutes, telling them that they were fired and that they'd received the same letter as above. I am aware of one employee who had a panic attack at this moment, and HR hung up on them during this panic attack, not caring at all about their well-being. These colleagues of mine were hard workers who have spent many years at Rockstar in critical roles, with colleagues who have been at Rockstar for more than 18 years, and none of them have ever had a disciplinary in that time." The ex-employee says that these individuals are not easily replaced, and it will certainly affect them in making their project deadlines. Some of those staff who were fired were senior artists, animators, QA testers, designers, programmers, and producers. This includes leads. They were all super talented people who were proud of their work over multiple Rockstar titles, and they all wanted what was best for Rockstar and their fellow colleagues. Some of these members were off sick, recovering from surgery, or on paternity leave, and they were fired without pay, losing their careers and putting them into hardship in the lead up to Christmas, and even potentially losing their visas to work in the UK. Let me make this clear, I never saw any discussion leaking of Rockstar projects in the Union Discord server, and the only discussions that were had within this server were about Union unionization efforts and the working conditions at Rockstar. The Discord wasn't public, it was a private Discord group that only contained Rockstar employees and the WGB union officials. Apparently this was union busting and nothing else. Everyone fired was a union member. Just 1 week before, the union had reached 200 members, taking us over the 10% threshold, requiring to seek recognition and to begin engaging in collective bargaining, thus allowing them to negotiate directly with management on the key issues that affect them, like worsening crunch, inadequate pay, and inflexible working arrangements. Rockstar has fired over 34 employees. There were over 250 of us in that union employee Discord group. There is the fear that if they get away with this, they'll have nothing stopping them from doing this again and again. The remaining Rockstar employees are working in fear. They're fearful that they are next in line to be fired. They're too scared to go outside of the studio or to speak to the colleagues who are outside of Rockstar North protesting at the moment. Morale in the studio is at rock bottom. This is when they should be excited about what's to come over the next year, but they are now totally deflated and their trust and confidence in others is totally shot. The ex-employee says that this is the truly heartbreaking part. As for us in the union, all of our ambition was to make Rockstar a happier, fairer, safer, and a more equitable place to work. That's all. But what has happened clearly shows that they care more about the well-being of their colleagues at Rockstar than the company even does. The union remains unbowed and it is fighting to win the reinstatement of every single employee that was dismissed at Rockstar through legal means and campaigning. The ex-employee concludes by saying that this fight is critical. If Rockstar can get away with this, then they will be treating their workers with disdain, disrespect, and subjecting them to continued illegal treatment. He thanks everybody for their time and he hopes that this is some truth that helps everybody understand what is going on at Rockstar behind the scenes. As you can see, these are the protests that are currently going on outside of Take-Two and Rockstar North offices, as the fired staff deny leaking any company secrets. So these protests were going on the 6th of November after up to 40 staff members were fired for allegedly distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum.
Talk to your leads, talk to your co-workers, please spread the word. Over the last week, we've been gathering signatures for an open letter. We've gathered well over 200 of that. Today we're going to deliver it to management to let them know this is not a workplace that will stand up to this kind of behavior. This is a workplace that stands up for itself. These are workers who stand up for each other. We have two very clear demands. Reinstatement with full compensation for lost pay for every worker fired, and a clear commitment to accountability from the government.
These are clips of the protests that were published to social media, with fired staff holding signs and reading prepared statements calling for their reinstatement and back pay compensation. The speaker here says, "We will not stop fighting until there is a union, not just at Rockstar but at every company in this industry." Apparently, the fired staff were all workers from the UK and Canada who were part of a private trade union chat group on Discord. They were all union members themselves or trying to organize a union within Rockstar. Apparently, Take-Two's official statement on the matter is that they had fired the staff because they were leaking company secrets in a public forum. They continue by saying, "Last week we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, which is a violation of our company policies. This was in no way related to people's right to join a union or engage in union activities." Apparently, the only non-Rockstar people inside of the private union Discord were union organizers. The boss of the union states Rockstar continues to deflect from the real reason for these dismissals. They are afraid of hard-working staff privately discussing exercising their rights for a fairer workplace and a collective voice. Management are showing that they don't care about delays to GTA 6 and that they're prioritizing union busting by targeting the very people who make the game. They add that in recent years, Rockstar executives have benefited from £443 million in tax relief while showing total disregard for the law or the livelihoods of their staff. At every turn, they've chosen profits over both workers and fans of their games. The only non-Rockstar employees in the union Discord channel were union organizers. And again, you can see more clips of the protests outside of the Rockstar studios here. You can even see this dismissed employee at Rockstar who is reading a statement here.
This company, and I was dismissed without warning, without evidence, and without a chance to speak for myself. All because I talked with colleagues in a private union chat. We weren't leaking anything or trying to harm the company. We were supporting each other, trying to understand our workplace and make it better. To lose my job for that feels deeply unfair. No one should be punished for being part of a union or for speaking honestly about their work.
This protesting employee says what has happened to them is deeply unfair, claiming that they were dismissed without warning, without evidence, and without a chance to speak for themselves. The fired staff member continued, all because I talked with colleagues in a private union chat. We weren't leaking anything or trying to harm the company. We were supporting each other, trying to understand our workplace and make it better. To lose my job for that is deeply unfair. No one should be punished for being part of a union or for speaking honestly about their working conditions. Even Ross Greer, co-leader of the Scottish Greens political party, had took to social media to back the protesters. He says that they stand with dozens of workers sacked by Rockstar Games for exercising their right to organize a union. He demands Rockstar to reinstate these employees now and then get around the table and give your staff the pay and conditions that they deserve for making you billions. With all of this going on, it's beginning to make sense as to why Rockstar have once again pushed back the release date of GTA 6. They're saying it's additional time to allow them to finish the game with a level of polish that fans have come to expect and deserve. But people are seeing through all of this, especially with the ongoing protests and the disgruntled ex-Rockstar employees. Fans are commenting saying a year out from launch and they pull this shit, and they decide to announce a delay whilst this shit show is going on. What the hell was the game plan here? Yeah, everybody seems to know what Rockstar is doing. The delay announcement is clearly a strategical tactic to cover up Rockstar firing those employees. Bad news being a cover-up for worse news is just so insane. But yeah, it seems like a UK executive at Rockstar fired some people for organizing a union, perhaps justifying it to their own leadership as getting rid of leakers. And then yeah, coincidentally, Rockstar HQ in NYC decided that the game needed more time, maybe without even knowing the firing situation in the studio beneath them, which I find to be highly skeptical. Everybody agrees that it's ruthless to have these Rockstar employees fired just before Christmas. And then losing so many talented people within 1 year before the release of the game, it just sounds like a horrible idea. And all of this just to prevent the employees from unionizing and to demand proper pay and working conditions. Take-Two CEO had even commented on the delay. He says that when we set a date, we really do believe in it. We said when we set the last date, if a game requires more polish to be the best possible version of itself, then we will give that game more time. And that's exactly what happened. We feel really good about this release date. It's in the same fiscal year. It happens to be a great release window, and naturally we're really supportive of Rockstar's approach. What we want to do is give consumers as much certainty as possible, and again, we feel quite good about this date. It's not that far in advance if you look at when you need to deliver a game to get it out. Also, we have to start marketing activities in a significant amount of time ahead of release. What we want to do is give consumers as much certainty as possible, and again, we feel quite good about this date. There's also a ton of memes and people reacting to this delay news.
On Thursday, November 19th, 2026. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish it's not coming out!
People are also saying that just because 30 or 40 employees were fired, it doesn't mean that that's the cause of the delays. So like this individual here says that they'd like to clarify a few things about GTA 6. Number one, the union layoffs in the UK and the delay are not related. There are 6,000 plus employees working at Rockstar. You aren't delaying a game over 35 people getting laid off. That's not how these things work. And not to mention that Rockstar devs were telling this individual about a delay well before the union layoffs. The second point is that Rockstar is extremely compartmentalized. A huge number of staff don't even know what's in a lot of the game because they are only exposed to the specific chunk of work that they are assigned. This is done because the game is so large in scope and also for security reasons. The third point, I've seen apparently some insider saying it's being delayed till 2027 and the game is in a messy state. But they highly doubt this as no one that they have spoken to has corroborated it, and the game is content complete. All that work from here on out is optimizing the hell out of it and making sure that
that all of the systems work to prevent a cyberpunk scenario. And the fourth point, leaks from a former Rockstar employee has said that morale is low, and no doubt that this is the case at the Edinburgh studio, but that doesn't translate to all of Rockstar. Bangalore, for example, operates completely differently and has a different culture to the Edinburgh studio. Then you've got staff leaving Glassdoor reviews speaking about their experience working at Rockstar. So you can see the pros and cons of the job. Working under the Rockstar brand was initially exciting, and being a part of global IPs like GTA and Red Dead Redemption 2 added prestige to the resume. Some team members were genuinely collaborative and supportive, especially at the peer level, got hands-on experience in game security, cheat detection, and back-end tools. But the cons are that there is politics and favoritism within Rockstar. It's not about performance, it's about who you're close to. Promotions, recognition, even basic visibility all depends on internal alliances. Zero transparency from leadership, you're left in the dark about decisions that directly affect your role, team, or future. There's toxic, outdated workplace culture. It's shocking that in a global tech company, juniors are expected to serve tea and snacks to managers like it's the 80s. No accountability for bad behavior. Those who speak up are ignored or sidelined. HR feels more like a formality than a resource. Career growth is a dead end, and if you're not a part of the inner circle, hard work alone isn't enough to get you noticed at Rockstar. This other review complains about an extremely uncompetitive salary, which the higher-ups justify with the availability of the benefits. Growth has more or less stagnated due to the saturation of the teams. Politics is evident, but apparently the toxicness isn't department-wide. Certain managers lack the humanity to acknowledge their shortcomings and play the blame game, which just destroys team morale in the long run. And this individual hopes that things do improve because this is ultimately a good place to work in, but it is being marred by a few incompetent people and a sorry excuse for a salary. And this review is really scathing. They said that the only pro that they can think of is free breakfast, lunch, and snacks given by Rockstar, but there are quite a few cons that they've mentioned. There is no learning curve here at Rockstar. They just need people to finish GTA 6 on time. None of the tools used by Rockstar can be used once you leave the company. You cannot even tell which tools you worked on because of NDAs. Everything you learn there is garbage the moment that you leave the company. Their appraisal cycle and hikes are below average compared to other companies. Rockstar pays way below the average industry standards. Their management is busy conducting parties and spending money on unnecessary team dinners and outings, and they've advised people to join if you only want to tell people you worked in Rockstar. Career-wise, joining Rockstar will hurt you in the long run. So while there are arguments defending Rockstar and saying that it's merely a coincidence that the delay has coincided with these union layoffs, and team morale isn't low across all of the different developmental studios, but all of these Glassdoor reviews prove that there is a morale issue across all of the Rockstar developmental studios. A toxic work culture where employees are not being properly compensated, where a company that is turning billions in profits is not investing back into its staff, where anyone seen to be asking for better working conditions is a liability, and it seems like Rockstar's a company where no matter how hard you work, your effort is not going to be recognized unless you play into the politics of upper management, where rather than your hard work being selected for promotion, instead favoritism is the reason why you're promoted. Fans are even fed up with Rockstar. All of us have waited way too long now for GTA 6. I mean, just look at how good we used to have it. Now we're getting one game in 13 years.
So far we've covered everything up until November of 2025, but with it being March 2026, we're 8 months away from the release of the game, quite a bit more things have happened in the last few months. If you recall those Rockstar employee firings, well, things got even worse. On the 10th of December, this made it to the UK Parliament. Prime Minister Keir Starmer himself called it a deeply concerning case and said every worker has the right to join a trade union.
The video games company Rockstar in my constituency last month fired 31 employees without providing evidence or union representation. The IWGB alleges union busting. Having met Rockstar, they failed to reassure me they are following employment law, and I share concerns about union busting. Given this government is responsible for the biggest increase in workers' rights in a generation, does the Prime Minister agree all companies, regardless of profit size, must follow UK employment law, and all workers have the right to join a union?
Well, it's a deeply concerning case. Every worker has the right to join a trade union, and we're determined to strengthen workers' rights and ensure they don't face unfair consequences for being part of a union. Ministers will look into the particular case that he raises and keep him updated.
When MPs tried to visit Rockstar's Edinburgh offices, Rockstar tried to make them sign an NDA, and in January, 29 workers took this to the Glasgow Employment Tribunal. The judge denied interim relief on the 12th of January, but legal experts say that this doesn't predict the full case outcome. The judge even stated that there was no evidence that Rockstar suffered any consequences from the alleged leaks from the employees. The most ironic part of all of this is that Rockstar fired people for allegedly leaking information, then during the tribunal, Rockstar's own lawyer accidentally leaked information. So their barrister referenced a top secret feature but forgot to apply for reporting restrictions. Court documents now confirm a QA tester mentioned doing 32-player online playtests. This is our first official confirmation of the successor to GTA Online, with its 32-player access. While this isn't a huge detail, because currently GTA Online supports 32 players too, with 30 players and 2 spectators, so we don't know exactly if GTA 6's online mode is going to exactly support 32 players at release. So there's a possibility that we might get support for even more players or even few players. Then on the 3rd of February 2026, Take-Two's earnings call gave us the most important update in months. CEO Straz Zelnick gave us a very confident response about GTA 6. He told IGN, "I feel good about it, very good about it." Because anytime you're getting closer to marketing beats, your confidence level is as high as it can be. Then he confirmed Rockstar's marketing campaign begins in summer of 2026. He even stated, "For me to even say we've got marketing beats coming this summer is a huge departure from what I usually say. We have other confirmations like physical copies will be available on day one, debunking all of those rumors that disc release is going to be delayed. Also, apparently GTA Online will continue to get updates after GTA 6 releases." And Zelnick also confirmed that generative AI has zero part in what Rockstar Games is building with GTA 6. He states Rockstar's worlds are handcrafted. That's what differentiates them. They're built from the ground up, building by building, street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood. They're not procedurally generated, and they shouldn't be. Zelnick ends with, "That's what makes great entertainment." This then brings us to the leaker GameRoll, who posted protagonist names before trailer 2 released. Court filings reveal that Rockstar fired someone in April of 2025 for leaking to a third party on social media. GameRoll claimed that 6-star wanted level is returning, a relationship bar between Jason and Lucia will be there, over 700 enterable buildings. The story will be split into 5 chapters, and there is a Red Dead Redemption Dead Eye style detection ability for Jason. While these leaks cannot be 100% accurately confirmed, Rockstar's own court documents essentially validated the leaker's credentials. Meanwhile, fake leaks for GTA 6 have been spreading everywhere. An account called ZapActu GTA 6 posted AI-generated gameplay that got 8 million views before admitting that it was fabricated. On Christmas Eve, a fake 676GB file size went viral on Christmas Eve, and Rockstar reportedly uses canary traps, planting false details to trace leakers. And in terms of the gaming industry, when it comes to GTA 6, the CEO of Arc Raider said publicly that they moved their game's launch specifically to avoid GTA 6. IO Interactive's James Bond game shifted their release to May 27th, and analysts project anywhere from 3.2 billion to 7.6 billion in early revenue for GTA 6, as it's the most anticipated game of all time, as it won this award at Golden Joysticks and the Game Awards for the 2nd year running. And this is with no real gameplay being showed for it at all. So this is where we are at in March of 2026, where 8 months away from the launch of the game, we've had 2 delays, ongoing legal issues, developers being harassed, employees being fired, the stock price of Take-Two crashing, and somehow GTA 6 is still as hyped up as ever. Tom Henderson predicts that the next trailer for the game is going to drop on the first week of August. Pre-orders should follow, and the PlayStation database trackers already spotted GTA 6 title IDs being added in March. The 19th of November 2026, that is the date Take-Two has been fixed on, and they are not going to change it seems. Based upon everything that we've covered within this video, GTA 6 might actually be worth the 13-year wait, but we can't say anything for certain until we at least get a proper gameplay trailer. So lastly, thank you for making it to the end of this complete comprehensive comprehensive breakdown of GTA 6 with everything that we know so far about the game, and I look forward to seeing you when Trailer 3 releases.
A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.